this series of important topics for Polity Mains 2023, the next important topic is election freebies. Election freebies has been in the news for the last 1 year for multiple reasons, be it politicians, be it judiciary. They are very concerned about these election freebies. Now let's try to understand what are election freebies, what is the problem with them, what can we do to address this challenge of election freebies. So let's start. What are election freebies? RBI report of 2022 has defined freebies as a public welfare measure that is provided free of charge. Now you must be thinking that this is again, why can't we call it a welfare measure? Why can't you call it a welfare measure when it is a public welfare measure provided free of charge? They are different from public or merit goods such as health and education expenditure on which has wider and long-term benefits. So I'll tell you how it is different from a welfare measure. What is a freebie? According to RBI's report, is a public welfare measure that is provided free of charge. So, and how are they different from welfare measures? Firstly, freebies aim at benefiting the population in short term. This is very important. Short term, they lure voters with populist promises like free mixer grinder, free washing machine, free color TV. These are the promises we usually see politicians making. So these are very short term promises, these are populist promises. They are short term because they do not help in building the social infrastructure of this country like health and education. Free laptops, TVs, bicycles, electricity, water, etc. These are freebies. Now what are welfare schemes as such? These are well thought, after planned, aim to benefit the target population and improve their standard of living and access to resources. These are long term. These are long term measures. Welfare measures are long term, freebies are short term. They aim at fulfilling the constitutional obligations like DPSPs we know. These are the moral obligations on the state which needs to be fulfilled to improve the standard of living of people. So, welfare schemes are aimed at fulfilling the constitutional obligations and they are a way of promoting social justice, equity and human development. Like we know programs such as MG Narega, Midday Meal Scheme and PDS, Public Distribution System. So I hope difference between this and this is clear to you guys. Coming to the next dimension, advantages of freebies. What are the advantages? It's pretty understandable, right? Distributive justice, like we are living in a society which is full of inequalities. So when you give things to people for free, it can help you reduce that inequality. So it helps in distributive justice in a society where we are living with inequalities. Public outreach and engagement, in fact, it increases the public trust and satisfaction with the government. And people are satisfied with the government because the government or the political parties are trying to meet their demands, their short-term demands. And it kind of stimulates growth. Like for example, in Bihar and states like Bihar and West Bengal, it has been noticed that distribution of bicycles in Bihar and West Bengal has resulted in decreased dropout rate and increased attendance rate of children in schools. So they also stimulate economic growth. It's not that they do not stimulate economic growth, they do, but short term again. Welfare, social welfare, it helps in social welfare, helps you meet basic necessities like free water, free electricity. These are all basic necessities. And yes, as this lures voters and voters are pushed to come out and vote, it increases the voter turnout. So there is a positive voter turnout also. So what are the advantages of freebies? Firstly, it helps in distributive justice. Next is increases public trust and satisfaction with the government. It also stimulates the economic growth and helps in fulfilling the basic necessities of people and positive voter turnout. So now let's see what are the challenges associated with freebies. Disadvantages. Again, this dependency syndrome where people become lazy, people don't want to work, people expect the government to fulfill their basic necessities. So this basic dependency syndrome makes the people less motivated to work. And Association for Democratic Reforms reports say that around 41% of voters in Tamil Nadu consider freebies an important factor in voting. In Tamil Nadu, 41% of the voters consider freebies as an important component in elections. That is how dependent we have become. The fiscal burden, like we all know, macroeconomic stability of the state or the countries increases because there is increase in public expenditure, subsidies, debts, etc. Like you give water subsidy, electricity subsidy. These kind of subsidies again impact the macroeconomic stability. And the next challenge includes resource misallocation, like distort the expenditure priorities, and resource allocation by fund diversion. Like if you want to spend on a healthcare institution or educational institution, the funds from these social infrastructure will be diverted towards bicycles, TVs, mixer grinders. This results in the fund diversion. That is why it is called short-term measure. Quality compromise, again when they are giving things for free, you cannot expect 100% quality. So again there is a quality compromise. And impact on environment like electricity and water subsidies result in depletion of water pollution, etc. So we have seen advantages and challenges of freebies. Now let's see what we can do to address this challenge. Way forward. Firstly, we need to draw way forward. Firstly, there should be a clear differentiation between what is a welfare measure, what is a subsidy, and what is a freebie. When you differentiate these three, it becomes more easy to solve this problem. We need to empower Election Commission of India to monitor the announcement and implementation of freebies of political parties. And voter awareness is extremely important again. Economic and social consequences of these freebies should be explained to the voters through literacy campaigns, media platforms. Judicial intervention is necessary. Like we know, no political party will allow if you say that there are no freebies hereafter. You cannot expect a political will, particularly when it comes to election freebies as a problem. So we need judicial intervention. So setting up of a committee by Supreme Court with members from Niti Aayog, Finance Commission and RBI and other stakeholders. These measures can solve this problem of election freebies and help us taking a rational decision and going ahead. Thank you.